In Naruto, the number of dojutsu in the series, it is enormous, and by the time we reach Boruto, the number has gone up even higher because we've been introduced to dojutsu like Kawaki and Ishiki's Kokugan Eye, and also the eye called the Senrigan, which belongs to the lovely 19-year-old girl who is currently a supporting character in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. Join me in today's newest Naruto Explained video, where we're going to take an in-depth look at the Senrigan Eye of Ada, including but not just limited to how the dojutsu works, but also the various inspirations behind the eye itself. Like all dojutsu we saw in Naruto, which ultimately could be traced back to the mother of chakra on earth, Kaguya Otsutsuki, the Senrigan, it is no different, only this eye, it owes its origins to the god of the Otsutsuki clan, Shibai Otsutsuki, the only member of the clan who achieved the status of godhood. While the eye itself is practically useless in a battle situation, it is something that is extremely overpowered due to the extraordinary level of clairvoyance, which allows the user to see in the past up to the moment of their birth, which for Ada is 19 years ago. So that would be the year that the Fourth Great Ninja War started, as well as see all events that transpired during the present day. So let's start with the appearance of the Senrigan itself. The Senrigan is visually distinct from other dojutsu like the Sharingan, Rinneharingan, and Byakugan. It features a bright light blue color that is a different trend from the red that you see with the Sharingan, or the purple you see with the Rinneharingan, or the violet that you see with the Byakugan. It's a simmering, almost crystalline appearance, giving it a divine or a celestial look, fitting given it came from Shibai himself. And when the eye is in use, the back of Ada's eyes are turned black, allowing for a contrast of the crescent moon in her eye. It has no visible tomo or rings, unlike the Sharingan or the Rinneharingan. This appears more celestial, largely in part due to the small white dots that appear in the corner of her eyes when she looks into the present timeline, or when the manga focuses in as her eyes turn black, and it further contrasts the crescent moon and the middle of the eye itself, making it appear as if the eye is a celestial body. It is a reflection of knowledge itself because it symbolizes the role of the eye being an all-seeing eye. Ada's Senrigan is to an extent always active, but it does not alter her normal vision. Its effects manifest through her mind rather than direct sight. Ada can pick and choose when she wishes to focus on a specific scene. She compares this ability to being able to look at specific moments in the past or the present, like looking at footage from a security camera. Now, let's go deeper into the powers and the abilities of the Senrigan itself. The Senrigan grants Ada two primary abilities: clairvoyance, which is the all-seeing perception, and retrospective vision, which is looking into the past. So clairvoyance allows Ada to see and hear anything anywhere in the world in real time. There appears to be no real range limit. She can perceive events from areas, and when she does so, the object she is watching is unaware that she is watching them, unless of course they know her power is being used, and even then they cannot see her except for the Shinju named Mamushi, who due to unknown reasons can see Ada when she uses the power to spy on him. Another interesting fact about this is that Ada cannot see objects that are smaller than 1 inch in size. That's why when Kawaki shrinks himself down, Kawaki is able to evade her detection. She also cannot see things when Momoshiki stops time to speak with Boruto, as shown in the code arc when Momoshiki speaks to Boruto. She had no idea of what was happening. She also does not need to focus her eyes in order to activate this, like we see with the Uchiha when they start building up chakra in their eyes to cut on the Sharingan, or the Hyuga have the veins in their eyes. Ada activates all this stuff on a whim. The information flows into her mind effortlessly. However, she cannot see into the future, meaning that this ability, it is not all broken. When it gets to the retrospective vision, seeing into the past, Ada can view any past event from the moment that she was born onward. This makes her a living archive of the world itself, capable of witnessing historical events up to the moment of her birth. Like her clairvoyance, this ability, it functions remotely, allowing her to rewind time in a sense when you think about it. When Ada does this, it's shown in the manga that she projects herself into the room or the location of what event that she is watching from a distance, like when she saw Boruto versus Mitsuki happen, or she saw Kawaki confronting Naruto at the end of Boruto Naruto Next Generations. However, she cannot, again, enter into the past to alter events. She is purely an observer. This power also has other limitations. She cannot see into the future, so that's going to prevent her from predicting events before they happen. She also cannot read minds, so she perceives actions but not inner thoughts, which is why Shikamaru uses the Yamanaka clan's mind transmission jutsu to carry out any conversations he doesn't want Ada to pick up on. There's also no indication of offensive capabilities, making it purely a support ability, unlike the Sharingan and the Rinnegan, which have varying degrees of offensive capabilities, or the Byakugan, which can see the chakra points. Ada gets none of those benefits, so no precognition like the Sharingan, no 6-pass power like the Rinnegan, and no targeting of the chakra points like you see with the Byakugan. In terms of the possible inspirations from Shintoism, Buddhism, and Asian mythology, there is a plethora of it. It is very deeply, steeply rooted in Asian culture. So the Senrigan in its meaning, the name Senrigan translates into 1,000-mile eye, referring to clairvoyance or supernatural vision. So in Japanese folklore, this term refers to a person who can see across vast distances, both physically and spiritually. The idea of a supernatural sight beyond human limitations, it is present in many yokai legends and Buddhist scriptures. When you get into Buddhism, part of the inspiration for the eye itself comes from the 10 eyes of Buddhism. So the 10 eyes of Buddhism refers to a divine eye that grants supernatural perception. Buddhism describes 5 forms of divine vision, one of which is the heavenly eye, which allows for a being to see across all things, space, and time. In Chinese Buddhism, the Bodhisattva is a compassionate deity and is sometimes depicted with 1,000 eyes, symbolizing her ability to see all suffering across the world, just like Ada does. The Dharma eye itself also allows enlightened beings to perceive truth beyond normal perception, which is what she's able to do when she can look back into the past and see what really happened. Ada's Senrigan eye closely mirrors these concepts, particularly in how she is an observer of all things, but she does not directly interfere, just like these deities that we just spoke about. So the other thing about Shinto deities is that several Shinto gods have divine perception, which could have inspired Ada's Senrigan. In particular, you have Amena Minakunushi, which is a primordial Shinto god, sometimes interpreted as being the entity who oversees all existence. Then you have Omonikane, which is a god of wisdom and intelligence, who possesses great knowledge and insight into all things. These deities reflect Ada's role as a figure who knows everything yet remains distant and uninvolved. When you get into Taoism, this is called the heavenly vision. So in Chinese Taoism, the ability to see beyond the physical realm is called heavenly vision. So Taoist sages, they are said to be able to develop this power through meditation, allowing them to perceive things beyond mortal sight. Like Ada, they could see into the past and the present, but not the future. In Hinduism and in Buddhist influence, this also there as well. This would be the third eye of Shiva. So Ada's eye, to see into the past and present without interaction, bears similarities to Shiva's third eye. In Hinduism, Shiva's third eye represents divine wisdom, perception, and destruction. It is a source of a higher knowledge, similar to how Ada Senrigan functions as an all-knowing observer. The symbolism behind the eye itself is interesting. So Ada Senrigan represents knowledge without power, making Ada one of the most informed yet powerless characters in Boruto. She is a divine observer, but not an actor. Despite knowing everything, she can't change events, just like how a Buddhist perceives all but does not interfere. This makes her a passive deity-like figure in the Boruto world. The mirror of fate itself, karma and samsara, is also inspiration for it. So in Buddhism, knowing the past and the present and how it relates to breaking the cycle of samsara, the cycle of reincarnation, Ada's knowledge of past events, it symbolizes awareness of karma, but the inability to escape it. When you look at the parallels to the moon, it is often associated with clairvoyance in Japanese culture. Her Senrigan's shining blue color also symbolizes the moon's reflective, passive, and observant nature. In conclusion, the Senrigan is one of the most unique dojutsu in Boruto, inspired by Shinto deities, Buddhist divine vision, Chinese Taoist mythology, and Hindu concepts of varying degrees. It is an eye of wisdom, not destruction, unlike the Sharingan and Rinnegan. It ties deeply into the themes of fate, karma, and limitations of knowledge. While it grants immense perception, Ada remains powerless to change destiny, making her a tragic magic yet like godlike figure. Obviously enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe and check out more content from Naruto Explained by clicking here on the left to check out more videos from this channel, or clicking here on the right to check out videos from my Anime Explained channel where I talk about non-Naruto content.